I've had people ask me, since I'm a content creator and I'm on Twitter quite a bit, like, what do I think of Elon Musk or Elon Musk or whatever the fuck he wants to call himself? Rich boy spending money. Um, what do I think about him buying Twitter? And here's the thing: I know a lot of people are like, he buys Twitter and I'm leaving it, and that's your choice. But Twitter is, along with Facebook and YouTube, were the ones that made like white supremacy like a really big thing, and they were the foundations for that information network, even more than Fox News was. So I don't really see where now all of a sudden Elon Musk buying it is like the thing that's going to set you off. I think it's, it's good that, like, if it makes you feel better, and this is the final thing, it makes you feel better, like, get out there. Yeah, it's toxic. Like, my social media on a lot of places, like Twitter and Tumblr, Facebook, is me mainly just posting stuff. I really don't even go on most of those to look for stuff that often. The few people I follow, I have messages, alerts sent to my phone or whatever for those few people I talk to on a regular basis. And it's the same way with Instagram. In a way, Instagram has had it's not as big of a cesspool as the others, but Instagram is also not a very good place for creative people anymore. So will I delete my Twitter account? More than likely, no. Will I go on there less? More than likely, yes. I probably will go on there a lot less, just because I don't want to deal with that shit anymore. And I shouldn't be going on there that much either. And it's the same thing with fucking TikTok. Like, anybody can report you anything. I said shit about cops, and all of a sudden, it wasn't even like anything bad. You know. But, and people were all of a sudden like, oh, report him. I'm like, report me for what? Bullying police officers? And the only thing I said is I worked with a lot of criminals in my life. But I tell you one thing, I trust them a lot more than I do cops, and that was considered bullying, because they automatically take down stuff like that. You actually report white supremacists and stuff, and they ain't gonna take you down that quick for that. But yeah, that's so. I'm probably not going to be deleting my Twitter unless big stuff happen, and then I'll probably go less stuff. My whole thing about Facebook and Twitter and all that stuff, even though, yes, it does drive traffic to my stuff and some sales and everything else, but it's mainly because I have a couple of friends here on this one, a couple of friends here on that one. The only reason why I never use my Tumblr anymore, and the only reason why it gets used at all, is a direct post from Instagram to my Tumblr. I don't have any friends on there anymore, so, like, there's no reason for me to go on it ever. Like, I guess if a massive amount of my friends left there, that'd be a different story, but yeah, that's the thing. And I seen a thing today also along similar lines where the lead singer Early Peace says the problem is with creatives, we don't own the communities. Our communities are within, and we're up to their whims and their ideas and their fucking assholey ways. It's funny, like, all these places like Facebook, Twitter, you know, Tumblr, and all of these were, like, part of the thing that grew places like Twitter and Facebook was hate speech and homophobic speech and sexist speech. Those are the things that made it as big as it was. Stuff like Tumblr and YouTube, it was, even though those had fell into some really bad things, those were built on more on creative people. Same thing with Instagram, really. I think it was more built on creative people. And, of course, TikTok built more on creative people. But once it got so big, only the big people, like, really mattered anymore. And now they basically throttle any kind of growth and creativity. It's very hard for people to break out on any medium. So as far as you use it as creatives, some else pop up, After live journals and stuff went down, I remember a lot of people saying, like, oh, where are we going to go? And something else popped up. The thing is that these are free platforms. Until creative people and people in general would rather pay for something than have a free platform, which, of course, that's a privileged thing to be able to pay for it, and there's a good one for it, I don't think you're ever going to see a situation where these platforms don't become very, very toxic the bigger they get. And that's just my 2 cents. A couple people asked for it. Here's 2 cents.